Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling. I shall see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where we'll be relaxing as per usual. Good stream we had today. Played a new game called Death and Taxes. You'll see the VOD on YouTube in a week, or you can go to Twitch right now and watch it if you want. But Death and Taxes is a cool game. I know it was a game, but I basically watched Northern 9 try ages ago, but I basically could not remember anything about it. I was just like, I know I've seen this before, but I don't remember what it was, except for it was like passing judgments on people. But anyway, good evening everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 8:26 p.m. on Sunday, May 6, 2024. The real question is that a game which is going to be returning in the future live streams or not? Because if you don't know, what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to have the first hour of a live stream be trying out these new games. Oh my god, I completely forgot about that video game again. Okay, note itself. But it was like that. For the first hour will be about trying new games, and then the next the next hour will be about whatever the ongoing series is. Right now it's Chancellor's Now, which I'm having a blast playing through. But it's basically it's meant to be a discovery thing. So I'm sort of like going back and forth because it's meant to be a discovery thing to find good games, which maybe could become future series right now or anything like that. The issue is I don't have enough series, but like if I do find a good game like we have now, I don't have enough like slots to be able to play this game. Like right now we're still very much in the middle of Paradise Killer. Talos Principle is still ongoing, and then we have Okami, which is going to be, you know, the game for quite a while. And then on the stream we still got Chancellor's Now, which I'm not finished yet. But now we found Death and Taxes, which is a fun game. So I think probably what I'll do is I'll probably play it again next stream, and then maybe it will go on hold for a little bit, unless it really picks up and is really fun, because it's a game which can come back. Certainly, I think it doesn't have to be a game which we're beholden to play exactly at that moment, because I do want to keep it like versatile and opened up that first one, because it really is about sort of like game discovery, but it should mean that any games which are good should be put on a shortlist to be like, hey, come back and check out this game at some point. But at that point maybe it feels a bit disconnected. I don't really know. This is a sort of a discovery progress, a process in general about what's going on, so who knows, to be perfectly honest, what will end up happening. But yeah, the new, whatchamacallit, I can't remember. Hold on. My brain is like, bleh. The new stream Fawnhallow has been finished for this year. Do I think it's this month, is it as good as the last one? It's okay. I don't like that. I mean, I like it, but I think, well, okay, hold on. That made it sound way more negative than it is. You're gonna have to realize that anything I say, you're gonna have to put a more positive spin on, because I tend to be overly critical of these sort of things. I think last month's one was really good. I think this one is good. Like it's not bad or anything like that. In fact, maybe I'll open it up again just so I can like look at it again, just to refresh my memory. I think it's fun. Actually, it's better than I thought. Oh, I should have definitely cleaned up the whatever. It's a thumbnail. You can't see how apparently messy and pixelated the edge of the text is. But I think it's a fun one, to be perfectly honest. But I don't know. I think I just set the bar really high on the April one. Okay, not March one. The April one is like really quite good. Like, just and mainly just because of the last like little flavor of like turning it into like a that glitchy sort of effect. Just really just cemented the style of it. But yeah, what are we going to talk about today? Oh yeah, we're going to talk about more things that I did yesterday, to be perfectly honest. So what else did we do? We like went to golf, and then we basically watched a comedy show. There's not really much to talk about in the golf thing we went to. It's like a crazy golf thing. I spoke about crazy golf many times. You might be like, did you win, dear darling? I came joint first in one round, and I think I came second or third in the other round. Actually, I have the scorecards for some reason. I can see what place I came in each of them. So, what's this? Is that the first round? No, this is the first round. I came joint first, I think. I'm not sure why there are more scores underneath this. To be perfectly honest, I think this must have been okay. I mean, basically there was not controversy, but there was like some jokes back and forth about like honourable play during Crazy Golf, which, you know, there's unwritten rules of Crazy Golf, and everyone's got their own different opinions of what they are, but you know, The general idea being, in Crazy Golf, you hit the ball from wherever it is, and then if it goes off course, you take it. Well, I don't know. In my opinion, you should put it back on the nearest point, which is on the course, to be perfectly honest. And, you know, there's general ideas of, like, you should play generally within how the course feels like it should be played, right? I forgot what I was going to say about this. And there were some things of honourable play which I honestly was not really privy to because I was not paying attention. It was more just like a joke thing that my friends were doing, and I was just like fully not paying attention to whatever they were saying because I mean, not about like I was not paying attention to my friends. Of course, that's not what I mean, but more like I missed whatever the first part of the joke was, and then whenever it came up again, I was just like, okay, sure, you know. I suppose it's leaning more into the like parent style thing, but it's just be like, oh, you know, when your child says something and you go, oh yes, of course, honey. But I don't know, it seemed like it was, I don't really know what was going on, but it was kind of funny, I suppose. But I guess it was the general concept of playing honourably or something. I just remember because it was one of the courses I was doing. I think it was probably, you know, I probably missed it because I was probably just like taking photos and videos, which is you know, unsurprising. Well, I just did one of the shots and they were just like, good job there, darling. And I was like, what? Like, playing honourable player. You're going to get -1, like, stroke off this hole. And I was like, what? I was like, sure, I guess. You know, whatever works. So I think this is meant to be the corrections which happened underneath it. I win this one, apparently, with these corrections. So I don't know how that works. And this one I came second. Oh, second by 1 stroke. I was actually very close. It seemed like I was reasonably consistent, actually, throughout all of this. Nah, that one's a bit... whatever. It's just not... Oh, it's more like this hole sunk me, it looks like. This one I got 5 on. Made me lose by one stroke. Wait, hold on a minute. How does this work? How am I behind by 1? Oh, because of this hole. Well, I made up that deficit. Oh, wow. We were, like, really matched. Anyway, so, apparently I'm better at Crazy Golf than I thought. Which is ironic, because I went to that Crazy Golf place before. I said, but with a different group of people. And I said, like, oh, I actually won when I played. And then my friend was like, oh, but you never win Crazy Golf. Which is true. I don't think I normally win Crazy Golf. Normally I come, like, 2nd or 3rd. That's probably not always true. I don't know. I don't have all the scores, to be perfectly honest. But anyway, we did about Crazy Golf, and I was going to say there was nothing else to really say about it, but I guess we're going to be talking about Crazy Golf. Sorry, hold on. Slow my roll. I forgot. I don't need to talk at 1,000,000 miles per hour. Chill out, speak clearly, and whatever. Because I can say the same story, but I don't need to say it at the pace I was saying at. I'm trying to be more conscious of the way I speak clearly and slowly so people can understand me. I don't want to just have myself talk at like this at 1,000,000 miles per hour and then people just go like, what are you doing? Are you talking at double speed? No, I'm talking normally. I forgot what I was saying now. But. What was I saying? Oh yeah, like, honourable play in Crazy Golf is, well, I don't know. Obviously it feels like such and also oxymoron quite, that seems a bit too strong, but it is obviously something which seems quite funny because it's such like a lax concept, Crazy Golf. It's not like it's particularly, well, I don't know, maybe there is competitive Crazy Golf, I don't see why there couldn't be. But it's also the sort of thing where it's just like, oh, you know, honourable play is, you know, just kind of like playing vaguely by the rules. Anyway, so I don't know. I guess but there was something like, oh, Vivian's photo, another one. But the general vibe I got, it was like one of my friends like moved the golf ball back in a way which the other two disagreed with, and then it just became like an ongoing joke. You know how it, like, jokes are with your friends, and they just sort of develop like that. Yeah, I don't know. All I remember is I got -1 stroke off one of the holes for no apparent reason. So maybe I didn't actually win, if you think about it. But in the end, who really cares? It's Crazy Golf. It's just kind of, you're kind of there to have fun, if anything. But this place, Crazy Golf, wasn't like one of the previous ones we've been to. Well, the previous ones we usually go to, the chain, is kind of more like an arcade golf thing, where the balls are like electronically tracked, and they can track how Actually, do they track how many hits? I think they might track how many hits it takes for you to get the ball in the hole, but they track like when it actually happens, and there's like the scoring system which can happen. All about is taking care of for you. This one was more like a bar, I suppose, with a Crazy Golf feel to it. There was music playing. Actually, not music which was definitely loud, which is, you know, a rarity, I think, for bars. I kind of like bars vibes, to be perfectly honest, but the thing I don't dislike about bars, and I say with bars and clubs and stuff in general, is the fact that music is too loud. I cannot hear anything, which makes talking to people very difficult, because I have a quiet voice and I don't have great hearing. I have okay hearing, but I'd say it's probably worse than average, but not like significantly worse than average. Probably, I don't know, maybe within one standard deviation is my guess. I mean, someone's got to be in like a lower quartile for something, right? That's just kind of how distributions work. But what was I saying? So it wasn't like overwhelming, but it had like quite a few cool holes. But obviously, I don't think it was designed necessarily to be like the premium experience with mini golf, because the game design person in me was just like, there's no way that like this is not balanced, but this isn't necessarily like a well-designed mini golf course. Like some of the obstacles and things just like don't work or don't function properly. Basically, every hole has a thing where it's like you could get a hole in one if you hit it into this sort of area, and some of them work pretty well. One that comes to mind is there's one which is basically a Ferris wheel, and then if you knock it into if you knock it up a ramp and it comes out with the right timing and it lands in the cup of a Ferris wheel chamber, whatever, it will go round, and presumably it will roll up, be a hole in one. And I assume it's relatively consistent. I don't know if it rolls in, because it's got enough time for it, the like vibrations, I think, of a Ferris wheel to like stabilize. So that seems like it would work pretty well to me. But there's other ones where the hole in one like did not work. There's one which took place in like a dirty bathroom. It was like kind of like horror themed, so everything was meant to be like kind of gross and like grimy. There's like different courses. This is one we did, the horror theme one. At least I think that was a horror theme one. No, there was two horror themes. There was a clown theme one and a horror theme one. The clown one was also kind of horror themed, now I think about it. But it was basically like knock it up and then presume it will go down this pipe, and then depending on how far it comes, how much force it has and how much momentum it has, it will either come like out of a sink, out of like a urinal, or out of like a drain pipe. And presumably the drain pipe one is meant to give you like a hole in one, but it doesn't give you a hole in one. It just gives you like close to a hole in one, which is like fine as well. But I'm like, if you're going to go through that rigmarole of having like a cheat tube, I suppose, in the course itself, it should just give you a hole in one. It's Crazy Golf, who cares, right? I'm trying to think of some other ones which were confusing or didn't work. Some of them were just like very unclear. There's one of them which had like this ramp with like a spinning smiley face at the back, and we could not figure out for the life of us how the hole in one thing would work, because we saw that basically there was like this gutter system halfway up, which basically if you hit it up and then it rolled back down slow enough, it would go into the gutter, but it spit you out on like a difficult back part of a course. And then my friend was like, hey, there's another hole here, which is like right in front of a hole, probably gives you a hole in one, but we could not figure out how on earth anything would actually get into that hole. There's also the saw blade one, which had like this tiny narrow my shovel tiny narrow passageway to get to the hole, and if you like hit it through that hole, you get a hole in one. But if you missed it, it would roll off to the side, to the left or right, to these like boxes, I suppose, on either side. But the boxes on either side had another sort of like RNG element to them, where it would like 50-50 spit you out the front towards a hole or back towards where you began, and there's no way to go around it. So basically it was like, oh, you have a 50-50 chance to reset your progress, much to the chagrin of one of my friends who lost a 50-50 like four times, and got like 10 strokes on that hole because it was slightly ridiculous, to be honest. And then me, who was like next, I just hit it and I won 50-50 and I got like 2 strokes on that hole, which is a little bit like, as fun as it is a concept for RNG, well, it's too much RNG, amusingly, for Crazy Golf. Like if I were designing this course, I would have it be, if you miss, it would be a 50-50, but then it would 50-50 you like onto like 2 different courses towards the hole, because you've already failed the hole in one challenge of getting it through the saw blade. You don't need to punish him again by having another 50-50 of it, right? At least not punishing enough that you can't go around it. Or, you know, simple fix, allow the person to hit the ball around the obstacle in the first place, you know, foregoing the entire death trap portion of it. Then I think it's more interesting, right? And also a lot of the parts were completely insane, I thought. Like, some of the holes were like really difficult, and it was like par 3. And then we got to one that was like par 4, and I was like, what? But most of these are par 3. It was crazy. But yeah, I mean, it was basically a mini golf bar, so it was like, you don't need to put much stock in the actual mini golf design in the first place, because, I mean, who cares? It's like, people are just there to drink and, you know, play a little bit of mini golf. It's also amusing how dark it is in this Animal Crossing game right now, but right outside, you know, it's not really reasonably light. It's like a dim light, I suppose, though. Like, you know, if you showed me like a picture of outside right now and asked me what time do I think it is, I would be like, it looks like 4 p.m. or something. But of course it's not. It's actually a summer of 8 p.m. So, yeah. You might be like, do I prefer it this way? I kind of like, it depends what I'm doing. And I think I have nostalgic feelings for night walks, which is why I have a sort of association with it. Obviously, not always the best thing to do, kind of depending on the environment and depending on like where you walk around. But I think the biggest memory I have is like walking back from my Japanese lessons during university, and in the winter months it was like nighttime, so it would like finish at like 6 p.m. and it was like dark outside, and then I'd go to like a food truck and get some food. Very nostalgic. Anyway, sorry, not the point. What was I talking about? Oh, mini golf. Yeah, it's a bar. Oh no, you're ill. Do we have medicine? We do have medicine. It's a bar, so people have had to get drunk. And actually, the first time I was there, I was like drinking while we were playing some mini golf. I don't remember how much I think I just drank like 1 cocktail or something, or 2. I don't know. Didn't go particularly crazy. I tend to not really go that crazy when it comes to drinking, especially when I haven't had food. I don't like drinking on an empty stomach. Honestly feels terrible. The few times I have done it have been terrible experiences rather than enjoyable experiences. Full stop, right? So yeah. Oh yeah, I need to make a thumbnail art. I was checking my Neopets quests and it was not a thing that I really particularly cared about. So we are running out of space as well for storage. Let's delete some of these videos, all but the latest videos, as we make the next thumbnail art. I'm not sure what to call it, to be honest. Honourable golfing? Something like that? What happened to my voice? Something like that? I'm not sure. I don't know. My friends will probably find it amusing though, because they'll see it and be like, oh, wow, we'll be mentioned. I'm sorry, you're only mentioned vaguely in passing. You forget this is the Dear Darling show. It's all about me. No, I'm joking. But yes. I don't know. Let's make it this blue. I don't know if I've used this blue in a while. 4. And then for this we'll put like a golf flag in the back, and then be like, I don't know, -1 stroke. So yeah, I probably actually didn't win on my first one, but you know, so be it. Not about competition. It's about having fun. IMO. Asterisk, your experiences may vary. But yeah, on that note, I'll round this episode off here, and I'm going to go record some Paradise Killer. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Hope we can see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.